Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome to another week, another episode of the Medicine Ball Podcast. You could have chosen to spend your time anywhere. You rock with me today. Thank you. I never take that lightly. Before we get into it, let my beat drop. Yes, that's right. Welcome to Medicine Ball with your boy S3 to be exact. And if you ain't in shape, at least your brain should be. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Medicine Ball Podcast, where we focus on giving your brain a six-pack by exercising your mind. Now, exercising your mind means that you actively think about and deal with all situations by first seeking to do anything other than what you are normally programmed and or comfortable in doing. Now, if you're someone who struggles and wants to get better at thinking about things beforehand, as opposed to reacting in ways that require less effort, well, just like anything you want to get better at, it does require training, practice, and work. Now, I'm well aware that thinking about things beforehand as opposed to responding off instinct does require effort. And who doesn't prefer things that are easy? Well, the first step, my friends, can be very easy, and that's to begin to look at all things from an unbiased point of view, which in itself will increase your curiosity in life. Now, exercising your mind won't give you all the answers. You will, however, begin to look at things with more peace, understanding, and patience, while simultaneously equipping yourself with more tools and strategies to help you effectively deal with this thing called life. Now, before we go any further, I'm no doctor, no psychiatrist, no psychologist. I have, however, been diagnosed with bipolar disorder level 1 for 16 years. And to be honest, I got to a point in my life where I was looking at the person I was becoming versus the person I wanted to be. And that, among other things, required me to look at my mental health responsibly. So whether or not you're diagnosed or know someone who's diagnosed or have symptoms or just want to know more about it, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're one of the many people who could just use some tips, tricks, and different ideas to help you get through day-to-day life. Pull up a seat, kick up your feet. E-L-E, everybody love everybody. This is your home, no judgment zone. Welcome to Medicine Ball. I appreciate you. Let's get right into it. This week's episode, Season 3, Episode 11, L.O.U.D. Let's go. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into this week's episode. Welcome to Medicine Ball. Really quick, so if you're following me on my social medias, and if you're not, you should be, right? I've been hinting at some announcements, but it's really more than just one announcement, rather it's announcements. And one of the things I've been hinting at is video. So this episode is actually being filmed live, and I'm going to upload the audio. Not upload the audio, upload the video. And so it's a little odd for me knowing that, I don't know, I'm speaking and it's being recorded. I don't know, I guess it's TV, but anyway, it's surreal for me. Now, I've already been shooting. I've been doing more pictures, being more visible, and there's a reason for that. But long story short, I have episodes that I have already filmed and recorded. So I guess that's part of the announcement, or that's the announcement this week. But this is the first one where I'm doing it by myself. And with that being said, if you're somebody who's already been following like the audio version of the show, then you know I've just talked about just like within this podcast atmosphere and marketing, the frustrations that have been associated with doing this, the tears, man, the anger, and so forth and so on. So I just wanted to make that announcement, in this episode, which is entitled L.O.U.D. for a reason. We're going to follow up on that. Other than that, please follow me on my social medias at Medicine Ball LS3, Medicine Ball LS and the number 3. Merch. So the people who, and it's weird because I know some of you guys will hear it, and I'm not going to release the video episodes until probably like further down the line, unless you subscribe to my newsletter or something, which is on the website. So you're going to hear me say things in a lot of ways that are a little odd, but it should make for an interesting show as you guys see me do it, because with me doing it via a camera with nobody filming, and I don't have the latest equipment or anything, like it's pretty much one take. So y'all about to get, y'all about to see me try to pull something off. All right. But so with that being said, with merch, as you can see, all of that to say, with merch, as you can see or not see, I have on new merch. If you're following me again online, social media, my Facebook groups, Instagram, Twitter, etc., you will be able to see that I did get merchandise a while back. It's been coming like in and out. I'm not saying I'm selling a ton of it, but I'm saying like the demand is higher than I personally thought. So we got all different sizes, all different colors. More designs will continue to come. Just trying to do what I can, man. All right. I appreciate the support on that because they go very, very fast. With all that being said, I'm not going to hold you, man. Let's get right into this episode, right? That I'm doing with no pauses. So even for the people listening, man, the pressure's on. L.O.U.D. It's an acronym, and I didn't make the acronym up, but as I was journaling, as you guys can see, I have the new journal. I bought a new one that got the little leatherback bound, has something little neat string that wraps around it. But all of that to say, I was thinking about living and just like life and dreams and expectancy, and this acronym came back into my mind. And so with that being said, man, let's talk about it. L.O.U.D. Live out your dreams. Now, I want to start that right off by saying, like, what is a dream? Now, I went and looked up the definition, but I'm going to give you guys, like, just the keywords that I kept seeing, right? It's a verb, first of all, to dream, and it's an aspiration or an ambition, right? I like to consider myself very ambitious, but an ambition is a strong sense of desire to achieve something, right? It's like a drive. But to dream is an aspiration or an ambition of what you can do. So piggybacking right off of that, a lot of us dream at children. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up, man? I want to be an astronaut on Mars, which I'm showing my age because, like, wow, now that's probably close. But anyway, things that you're not thinking about, like the studying, the degrees, how much it costs to get educated to do that. Life, things that happen in life, you know, you may have a kid, you may get married, it might be somebody who passes away, you might not, it's just so many things that you just, as a kid, you're so assured of yourself and that you have control of the situation, of course, because the parents are really controlling the majority of it, but that you just dream. And I always related to like Bobby's World, showing my age again, but like Bobby's World, the kid with the big head, I think Howie Mendez may have voiced it. He's a comedian, but anyway, he had like this super imagination where he would build stuff. So I often just say that as a joke now when people may say something or mention something that I don't know what they're talking about. Or I'm like, man, you got Bobby's imagination, huh? But all of that is like when we're a kid, like we're almost fearless. We're almost fearless, right? And I don't know, we just feel like we could do whatever we want. And not even feel, but we really can. But it's that innocence as that child and that calmness and that lack of worry and that lack of experience and that lack of years of just hearing what others are saying and hearing what the world tells you that allows us to do that. Now, a majority of people, like, and again, this is a line that a lot of rappers say and a lot of people might quote to, like, yo, you're living life, but you're not really living. Again, that's one of the things that people say, but let's really look at that. A lot of people are just existing, a majority of people. And it's not to say it's bad, but it's just like you work, save up money for you to have for the years that you don't work. Right? It's just kind of monotonous. It just gets old, right? So with that being said, a lot of people aren't really living their dreams or chasing those same dreams and aspirations they had as kids because of adulthood, I would say. But I've broken it down more into 3 F's of why I really think a majority of us, and I'm always, like I tell y'all, it's therapy for me, so I'm always speaking to myself, but we're always, a majority of us aren't really living our dream, let alone, we're not even pursuing our dream, let alone living it. So let's look at those 3 F's that stop a majority of us from doing that. The number 1 is fear. Paralysis by analysis, man. And even as I talk about mental health in this show, and I'm always talking about ways to program our brain and whatnot, like as you get older and life happens and things happen in your life, adversities and things of that nature, you eventually get to the point. All right, we good. I'm sorry. But you get eventually to a point where when things happen, you start gaining those experience points that we always talking about, right? And from there comes a lot of self-doubt and a lot of negative talk. And I could piggyback on this for so long about like how people say positive thinking doesn't work, but negative thinking definitely works, right? We tell ourselves, oh, it didn't work out, it's never going to work out again, et cetera, et cetera. Paralysis by analysis. So that fear just builds a doubt in us, and any dreams we had as a kid, which were probably lofty, our situation may tell us that, or experience for that matter, may tell us that it's not going to be something that's obtainable. Now, the second F is a failure to continue dreaming, and that's piggybacking right off of that. Like, Once we get to a point where it hasn't worked out so many times, or we have this perception of ourselves or how we handle things, and it might not be something that we may say, but subconsciously it's there because our actions tell us, right? So as we do that, we just stop dreaming. Like, I think we have a tendency, and again, I'm talking to myself, and this is what gets me through a lot of tough situations, but I think we got a tendency when things get really tough and situations get really difficult, and not only that, they're difficult or they're rough for a lengthy amount of time, right? Not like a month or something, but like a year or 2 years. It just beats on us, and makes us give up. And with that, we just like, it's not even worth it to dream or follow that dream or seek that dream anymore, let alone live it and achieve it. So the second F is fail. The third F piggybacks right off of that, and that's we tend to fall in line. We fall in line, man. We go by the status quo. We listen to what social media tells us, or all this stimulation that we're constantly getting from our phones or emails or from the people we're around, the music we listen to, the things we watch, the games we play, the books we read, the stuff we read. All of that continuously tells us, it could be from our parents, our family continuously tells us, a majority rather, that it should be this type of way, or things work out this way, etc., etc. And after hearing that so long, it pounds on you and you tend to just fall in line. So not only do you have fear about your dreams, after you fail or it doesn't work out, or you get this negative, self-image of yourself, you fail to continue dreaming, and then you just go ahead and fall in line. You just be like, oh, it's over with. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to do it. I'm running out of time. And I'm guilty of this a lot. I talk about my dad and this whole time thing he has, but it's just like, sometimes I gotta look at myself and be like, bro, you're not even 40 yet. You know what I mean? You're not even close to 40 yet. Like, what are you talking about? So we fall in line. And as we're talking about loud, right? Live or living out your dreams. Those four F's that we're constantly hit with, or a majority of us are hit with, or adult or life hits us with, all of that is noise as well. It's noise. And what's actually happened with the majority of us, I believe, is that all of that noise, because, Jadakiss said, I mean, it might have came from somebody else, but I always remember this line. Jadakiss said, man, you're going to be longer, way longer than, he said, you're going to be older, way longer than you're going to be younger. You're going to be old longer, you're going to be older way longer than you're going to be younger. So as you're young, you only got that amount of time where you have these dreams and these thoughts and these ideas, right? And that ambition, and before life starts teaching you his lesson, it's a longer amount of time, right? So it's all noise, and that noise just kind of dulls our senses and drowns out any like hope of wanting to dream or even think about chasing a dream or doing what we want to do in life. And I want to flip this acronym, and y'all know how I do with bonus points. Now, this one I did make up. God put it in me. Y'all already know. I ain't gonna get too deep on it, you know what I mean? But just like he works. Let's flip that acronym and really look at it again. Loud can really be learning to overcome unnecessary distractions, ladies and gentlemen. Because those distractions is loud too. We have to not only live out your dreams, but learn to overcome unnecessary distractions. And I tell myself this all the time. And like, it's even a Bible verse. I can't remember the verse off the top of my head, but it's something like, man, this is a long race. Be in it for the long run. Chase this race to the end, to salvation or righteousness, without being distracted. It should almost be like a football play when it comes to like some of the ways that we look at our goals and our dreams, because that's what dreams really are. They're goals. Because they are attainable. They are obtainable, but you have to understand how to learn to overcome the unnecessary distractions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to get into the definition of a distraction. We talked about it, but in the terms of just like your dream or your goal, is anything that prolongs you getting there or stops your progress from heading in that direction. Now, in life, and again, depending on where you at when it comes to exercising your mind, some of y'all might be in the peanut club, man. Go back and check another episode if you want to know what that is. But depending on where you at when it comes to exercising your mind, you know what I mean? I'm kind of aware, a little bit more aware. So it's just like I realize, like even when I'm at work and somebody wants to, I don't know, get rude with you, or they may actually do something that's foul, that's justified, like If you spend too much time trying to get them or something like that, it's a distraction. Or say, for instance, you want to be a football player or something like that. I don't know, play for NFL, any sports, any pro sport, right? And somewhere along the line, you get caught up into even the money on a pro level. But before that, you might just get caught up in the spotlight. It's a distraction. They talking about your boy Tim Tebow right now. Just got signed with the Jaguars and said that man addicted to fame. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get on that, but it's just like, come on, man. This man just come back. Yeah, I'll play tight end. I ain't like that. Okay, I'll go play baseball. Anyway, but even worrying about other people for too long, it's a distraction. I always have this concept of, telling even like at work that, some of the people on my team, I'm just like, man, what I used to try to do now is in situations where something major happens and we all have to adapt, that same time that the average person spends complaining or griping or even typing on Facebook that complaint, bro, I'm typing on YouTube or Google how to overcome it or how to make it easier. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? I'm running into them every day. Somebody cut me off and I still might want to curse them out, but I got to realize, bro, you driving a car, you know what I mean? I got a nicer car, your insurance. If you get distracted by that temporary gratification, it's a distraction. We have to learn to overcome these unnecessary distractions. Some distractions are necessary. Some distractions and alerts are necessary. They give you an opportunity to pause and relook at it, but unnecessary distractions are the killers of dreams. All right? So let's get into how we can solve this problem or start looking at our dreams. And I talk all the time about even the music thing. I don't look at my age and be like, man, I can't be a music producer. No. I take a step back and be like, man, me looking at it like that is because I'm only looking at one particular genre. Let me go over here and see, they got producers and composers and stuff who's 60, 70. I'm good. We have to do a couple of things to try to make sure we're at least getting back on track and not stressing us out. Because I mentioned this as well, man. Anytime you have a dream or a goal or a task, right, and you keep that same thing and is not able to overcome it, like me, man, when I got my phone's up. When I have my little to-do list, it's nothing that irks me more than seeing that little task in red every time I swipe my screen down, man. And I'm guilty. Sometimes I go ahead and hit that joy because it just bothers me. But there's some things that we can do to help alleviate some of the stress, because I think a lot of times what also gets us is the expectations we put upon ourselves and upon life, and they're just not realistic. Like, it's not to say they bad, but it's just not realistic. So let's look at it, man. 3 R's to wrap this up, right? I hit you with the 3 F's. Now I'm going to hit you with the 3 R's, that 3 things you can do to try to kind of look at your dreams and see what's going on, man. Let's get right into it, man. The first one is you have to realign, man. Or go back to the drawing board, man. I read this book, and I just remember how it would say, like, we'll set these lofty goals for ourselves, and then it'd be like, do or die. Like, I'll tell the story real quick. It was talking about, I believe it's Metallica, and I think the other one is Megadeth. Long story short, both of them were Hall of Fame rock and roll bands, but one of the other guys of the Megadeth, he lived horribly as a millionaire Hall of Famer in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He was miserable because he compared himself and he set his goals to that of Metallica. Y'all go look that up to see why, but it's a story behind it. But it's like, we have to realign, man. We have to realign. Now, for me, y'all know where I'm going with this, man. I've always been, one to pray, and I have beliefs in, God and Jesus and whatnot like that. But I had to go back in and lock in with him, man. Every week I talk about it, man. Like, his streak's pretty unstoppable for me. Ever since I really committed to I'm gonna pray, I'm gonna follow his word, I'm gonna be nice when people are being mean. It might take a while, but it's been working out. But we have to realign. We have to realign, man. And just willingness to realign shows that you're already at a place where you could turn this dream thing around and not be miserable. So after you realign your dreams and whatnot, you have to realize, right, that your dreams are still possible. They're still obtainable, but you basically choose your dreams. You choose your goals. I always talk about getting small wins in, man. Even me with my task list, one simple thing that I did that started to help me to get over not getting everything I was trying to get done is instead of being man, when I get done, I would go back and look at what did I get done? What can I get done? What can I do? What do I have control over? After you realign, you have to realize where you're at currently, man. Like for me, I want to still rock with the music, man, and I still have those, relationships and whatnot. But even if I didn't, man, it's just like, okay, this is a young man's game. These folks uploading $20 beats online and they making them in 30 seconds. What I'm gonna do? I don't even really like a lot of the music they listen to. What I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna give up. Nah, I'm gonna reestablish my relationship. Some of those people who were younger and now of age and they serious and work off of that, and then use my resume. And then what am I trying to do? Am I trying to be on MTV or BET? I'm showing my age again. Nah, are you just trying to like make a little bread off of it? Make bread. You make bread without being famous and without having to go out and do all of that. How much bread you trying to make? And that's just using me for an example, but we have to realize where we at and what can we do. And again, depending on where you at when it comes to exercising your brain, that might be a hard pill to swallow to realize like, yo, I can't go back to college and get a master's or a doctorate or a bachelor's for that matter right now. I got kids and a job. Realize. All right. And here's the final thing you could do as an art, man. We have to resume dreaming. I always talk about this idea like practice makes perfect, and things that we're bad at, even if we fail a whole bunch of times in the beginning, you're going to be better than the previous time. You will eventually get better. It's scientific. Like, right, I always be hitting people with that. Like, when I can't get through with them with logic, then I break it down and make a way to explain it scientifically. You have to dream again. Me personally, what I do is I set dreams that are still lofty but obtainable. You know what I mean? Producing. I'm just giving you an example. Like, man, this quarter, I want to make $2,500 off of beats, not counting residuals. YouTube video. Like, man, what is my goal? I don't have a goal in my head to upload my first couple videos in YouTube and just be booming. Nah, strategy. I'm going to do it the right way. That's why, this video isn't going to come straight out. I'm going to use my relationships. I know some people who pop on YouTube and go from there. You know what I mean? I might have to be like, 100 subscriber. That's cool. How many views can I get? You know what I mean? This is not my only source of income. It's just a blessing for me. You have to resume the dream. And that's what I'm doing now. And that's what I said at the beginning of this podcast, when I was talking about filming it myself. And by the way, I've gone through this, no stops. I know I done had some stumbles, but I'm human. I expected to have some stumbles. And to be honest with you, like, I done tried to record this joint like 10, 15 times, and I had to stand up and sit down and whatnot before I got to this point, which I'm glad because I'm looking a totally different direction. I had to adjust some things, but I'm going to learn. I guarantee you next one I record, it's going to be something different, whether I'm speaking a different way or it's all about learning. You have to resume dreaming. You have to resume dreaming and go for it. And if you fail, oh well, let's readjust it. You know what I mean? Jay-Z said, man, I'm just trying to do me. Last album sold 1. I'm just trying to do 3. You know what I mean? So let's think about living out our dreams by learning to overcome the unnecessary distractions. And just piggybacking off of that before I wrap it up, man, a majority of that distraction that stops us from getting our dreams, it's the same culprit that stops us from getting promotions. It's the same culprit that stops us from getting in shape. It's the same culprit that stops us from getting the type of money we want. It's ourselves. Nobody's sitting around you constantly telling you like, yo, and I'm sorry, you guys, that's nervous, but I'm human. I'm clicking a pen. But, and for the people who can see me, y'all can see what I'm doing. But, you have to go about it and realize like when you're really the person getting in your own way. Nobody stands around you from the time you start as an adult and you have that first little thing to make you start realizing, man, me being an astronaut was a little high. And I think we do it on the way as we grow up. Me being an astronaut was a little bit high, man. Let me just be one of these dudes in the launch room. Oh, man, that was a little bit high, man. Let me just try to be a janitor in the NASA building. Like, we adjusted and then we just cash ourselves out. But nobody but us is sitting around telling us you can't. Simple something to try, man. Instead of that you can't. How about at least, right? I'm down to, compromise. How about at least we hit them with the, I'll try. If you continuing to try, I guarantee you'll make it, man. All right. Yo, I'm going to wrap it up. does it for this week's episode, season 3, episode 11. Loud, live out your dreams, man. And if you stop living or at least pursuing your dreams, man, that's really like saying you stop believing in yourself. And I've been there, man. Like, and sometimes all you need is for somebody to tell you that they believe in you. So if you're one of those people who stop believing in yourself, stop living your dreams, you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you, man. Pick your head up. On the other side of whatever you're facing, I guarantee you is a breakthrough and a leveling up for you. All right? All right, that does it, man. Yo, I got a lot going on. I'm excited for y'all, man. I got more announcements coming soon. The footage is going to be, I might throw this footage up somewhere. Go check out my social medias. Go check out my website, medicineballls3.com. And I'm going to throw some snippets in there for my loyal followers and the people who really been rocking with me since day one. That does it. Until next week. I love y'all. Stay up. Yeah.